Hey everyone, I guess this is going to be video number 2 for today, Saturday. And I don't want to forget what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So let me say it out loud real quick. I want to talk to you about fasting. Share some things with you. Now, I might have to stop the video as I'm talking. I might have to stop it and make another video because I got to go to the gas station. And then I need to go to the post office. So on my way home on this Saturday, I'm going to make 2 stops. So when I go to the gas station, I'm gonna go inside, pay for my gas, because it's so weird, you guys, at this gas. So gas is really expensive. It's probably expensive where you're at, and it's really expensive where I'm at. And I mean, it's approximately $5 a gallon. I have to use mid-grade gasoline. You know, they've got unleaded, mid-leaded, and then they've got super unleaded, and I get the mid for my car because that's what the person I bought it from suggested. So I've not questioned it. I've been doing it. Let me plug my charger in my phone here. So almost $5 a gallon. But if you go to this gas station that's close to my work and you pay for your gas with cash, you save like 30 cents, almost 30, I think 27 cents per gallon. So I go there and pay cash, which is most of my tip money, sometimes all of my tip money for the day. To the person that came in today that watches my YouTube channel, if you're watching, I go to the front desk, you know, because at the end of the day, the receptionist cashes everybody out, or if we don't have a receptionist, I'll cash everybody out, whatever. It's all done through this computer system. But people will pay for with their credit cards. They'll put a tip on the credit card or their bank card, and then at the end of the day, the front desk gives you your tip money. You know, they cash you out. So the girl that got her hair done today tipped me $72, which that's for just a haircut. She's, you know, she watches my YouTube channel here, so thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for blessing me, and I wanted to let you know that the year I was born was 72. So pretty interesting that you gave me a $72 tip, and I'm born in 72. I wish I could thank each and every one of you by name, because every month I'm like, wow, people are gifting me. I don't ask for money. You know that, you guys. I'm not in this for money. I don't ask for money. We all have to make a living. When I republish my first book is going through another, I'm getting it republished, you guys. So don't ask for books from me if you can from right now, because my first book, My Jehovah is a book I wrote and published in 2015, and the owner of the publishing company made a bunch of promises to me and never fulfilled any of them. So my book didn't really get out there like it was promised. They were supposed to put it on Amazon, in bookstores, get me doing book signings and such. And, you know, I'm kind of glad that all that stuff didn't happen, because after reading, after the editing, you know, the editing process, it takes a long time, because they edit, then they check with me and see if it's okay. They're not changing the meaning or anything, what I'm saying, or adding to my story. They just do some punctual stuff and maybe word it this way. And I hated the way they did it the first time. It was ridiculous. It really was. If you knew, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't talk like that at all. So I had to fix all their errors. But then I found that there were a bunch more errors. If you purchase my Jehovah book, you know, the story of my life being raised Jehovah's Witness, and what we believed, why we believed it, what happened in my personal family life, what happened to me, what led me to coming out of the Jehovah's Witnesses, and then it ends in the year 2012 or 13. I think 2012, maybe 13. I wrote it, so you're getting a writing from a guy that was 40 years old at the time, and now 9 years later, so much of my life has changed. The guy that wrote that book is a totally different guy today as well. So of course I want to write more books. So I have a children's book that is completely finished. The artwork is done, the writing is done. It's a complete work. It's called Frog on a Lily Pad. But the new publishing company I went with, they want to publish my old book first, My Jehovah. We're republishing it again. And I'm going through, I have already gone through the book and corrected a bunch of errors, and then I'm going to go through it again, and then they have an editing team, and it cost me everything, man. I put every dime I had left into, well, not every dime, but I put everything, pretty much everything, enough money for paying my rent and stuff like that, you know, left over, but I sacrificed everything I had to pay for that, to get republished again. But the company seems to be really good and said, we're going to work with you on this. We want to get your book out there. So we'll see what happens. So I'm not going to sell my Jehovah books right now, even though you might see it in my description box. I just don't know how to go through all my videos and delete that right now. I don't know. If somebody ordered my Jehovah book, I could probably call the old publisher and still order books from them. But they cost me so much money and I really wasn't making much off of it, to tell you the truth. So it was a little expensive. Anyway, the reason I mention these things is because, thank you guys, because there's so many people that gift me financially every month. I wish I could name all of you. And, but you know, if it weren't for you, I honestly don't think financially I would be in a place where I could actually try to publish that book. And, you know, and even if I wasn't publishing my book right now, I honestly, without what you've done for me, I don't think I would be doing too great every month financially. I'm not saying I'm doing great. I'm just saying I probably would have been scared through the whole COVID stuff and all that. So thank you so much. Anyway, I'm going to go pay for gas. And then I'll come back in the car and I'll do video splits, because I'm going to go to the post office after this too. So you'll get a couple video splits. Remember, we're going to talk about fasting, okay? Don't forget, that's the subject. All right, talk to you soon. All right, you guys, I am back. For you, it was the twinkling of an eye. For me, it was quite the encounter just now. Talk about a spirit-led getting gas thing. You know, it's spirit-led. Going to the gas station. I needed to get to the gas station anyway. But, you know, I go in there, and I'm not Mr. Preachy out loud kind of stuff. Hey, any sinners in here need to be led to Christ? No, thank you. Don't want to be that guy. You got a few of them and whatever. But I went inside, and the dude behind the counter, I said, so yeah, I said, I'm like saving quite a bit if I pay with cash instead of card. And he says, yeah, and he shows me the sign. He says, this is how much it is. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I said, so I'm saving it. So it's not quite $5. It's like $4.30 something, $4.30 something or $4.40 something a gallon for the I guess it's called leaded plus, which is the mid grade. I just call it mid grade. And then yeah, I save like almost 30 cents if I pay cash instead of card. So I go in there and I was getting gas. And I said, hey, do you want me to pay you on small bills? Would that be better for you so you have change for customers? And he says, oh, yeah, that would be good. That would be good. I said, because you know what? I said, one night, bro, I came in here to get gas. And I said, and there was a girl working here. And I said, and she told, I handed her a bunch of $5 bills. And she told me that she had just been praying to God. I was just praying that somebody would come in here with $5 bills, because we're all out of fives. And I said, and she told me when she said amen, I walked into the store and I'm handing her a stack of fives. And I said, you know what's crazy, dude, is someone like me, that blows me away. I said, it gives me chills down my spine when somebody like me is told by somebody else that I was an answer to their prayer to God. I said, because I said, dude, I think in my head, who am I for God to use me to answer somebody's prayer? He's like, oh man. He has like that Hispanic accent. Oh man, let me tell you something, bro. So, and it's funny because there's people in the store, but they're kind of going and looking to get, maybe sodas or whatever, because it's one of those little, you go gas station, they got other stuff, cookies and chips and gum and beer and soda and blah, 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 cigarettes. So there's a couple people, but then they're obviously overhearing our conversation. I'm aware of it, and I don't care, because they don't hear nobody talk about God. Maybe they're priest if they go to a Catholic church or something. But here in San Diego, dude, God is rare for people to speak about. It's rare. We have great weather. I'm not saying there's a bunch of angry and all. They don't act angry. Some people act cool, but they don't believe in God. So many of them. I believe many of them have a desire, but they don't know how to get there. They think it's if they want God, they got to do religion. So anyway, this guy's telling me, let me tell you the story, man. So he's sharing with me how he had a dream of his friend and his friend's girlfriend. And his friend's girlfriend in the dream was holding her stomach. And in the dream he says, "Are you pregnant?" And she says, "I just found out that I am." And he says he suddenly woke up from the dream. And he says the very next day, his buddy calls him and says, "Hey man, guess what? My girl's pregnant. We're gonna have a baby." And I said, "Dude, it's in the Bible that there will be the day that men will dream dreams." I said, "You have been given the gift of prophetic dreams." And he's like, "Oh man, let me tell you about what happened when my son was born." He says right before his son was born, but before his wife got pregnant with his son, he said he was having a dream that he was driving a car, and in the back seat there was a little boy sitting in a car seat in his car, and then when he woke up the next day, his wife takes a pregnancy test and she's pregnant, and then they end up having a little boy. And so I'm like, that's awesome. But then this guy behind me came to pay for his stuff at the counter, and so I don't want to stand there and talk to the guy and not let the dude behind me pay for his stuff. I don't want to be that guy. So I start walking away, but as I'm walking away, I'm like, "Brother, what'd you name your son?" He said like Wani something. I can't remember. It was a long name. And I said, "What'd you say?" And he says, Juan for short, Juan, And I said, "Juan." I said, "Do you know what the meaning of his name is?" He says, No. I said, "It's God's grace." Because Juan would be in English, John, right? And John is, in Hebrew, the grace of God. Right? So that's really cool. And I walk out there, and I pump gas, and I'm like, I love encounters, you guys. I love encounters. I love it. I had an encounter at the grocery store today. I was on my lunch break. I go to the grocery store, and just wanted to get like a I think I wanted to get a what was I getting? A bag of blueberries to take home. I didn't want to forget frozen blueberries. They got these wild organic ones I like. I put them in. I make protein pancakes every day. Man, I should have a YouTube channel that teaches people fitness and health, diet, food, like how to eat right and be fit, because I'm getting really lean lately because of this discipline that I'm doing, and it's Holy Spirit led. It's like me and the Lord are going to the gym together every day. That's my favorite church, by the way, is the gym. Mike, what's your favorite church you ever went to in your life? Well, I go every day. It's called the gym. What do you mean? A religious person would never understand it. But somebody that is led by Spirit understands that, well, I am the church, because I am. The church is the people. And so I'm one of the people out there, and just very aware of the presence of God all day, every day. Even when I feel like God's so distant from me, those are just my emotions, but I'm still aware of the presence of God all day, every day. So my favorite church is going to the gym. Now, did you like that example of what I told you about about this guy. I didn't get his name, but I got his son's name. That's really cool, right? The grace of God. The grace of God. I hope that made a mark on people. I hope that left them a little something, because you know what? On the outside, I probably don't look like the dude that's a believer. And I think that would speak volumes more than the dude that goes in there with his holy righteous outfit, right? Suit, tie, maybe a priest uniform, maybe the Mormon white shirt, black tie thing, maybe the Jehovah Witness suit coat, briefcase. Here to talk about God today. I'm one of his representatives. I don't mean to mock him, you guys, but religion is for the lost, that want to stay lost. Do you understand? Religion is for the lost that want to stay or remain lost. They have a desire, a type of godly devotion, but they prove false to its power because they don't understand having real life encounters where God is with you and leading you, and he's just there. And there was something that Jesus told me today as I was praying in the Spirit at work, and I will share that with you momentarily, and then we will talk about fasting, and hopefully I don't do a super long, over an hour video, which it's probably gonna happen, sorry. So if you want a long video, I guess you're gonna get one. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I put my earpieces back in because it's kind of risky to make a video with my earbuds in, but I think maybe it might be clearer quality. I don't know. I'm testing it out. The first video I made, before I went to the gas station, I was wearing them, and then I realized after the gas station I didn't have them on, and or did I? Did I? I don't think I did. And then I just now put them back on. So we'll see what the sound is better. But before I share with you what Jesus had shared with me today when I was at work, that really made my eyes well up, and I almost started crying hardcore because it was so real to me. That's where I knew he was speaking to me. It was pretty intense. I was telling you about how I make these protein pancakes. I was at the store buying blueberries, and I was making, I make protein pancakes, and I was saying how I should start a YouTube thing about fitness and health and all that. But before I started speaking about making the protein pancakes, I told you I went to the store to buy some blueberries. And this girl at the store, she had her mask on, and she looked kind of familiar. She worked there, but I didn't really know where I knew her from. So anyway, she was just like, so hey, how's work next? So she knows I work next door. You busy and all that stuff? Oh yeah, real busy. She said it's been really busy over there. And she's like, oh yeah, I watched your YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh, you did? And she's like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And so then I'm like, oh, thinking in my head, where did I talk to her? And then she told me, she says that she was working in a store there's a coffee thing, a Starbucks coffee thing, and I guess I was getting a thing, and I don't ever drink coffee, but sometimes if people give me a gift card that has Starbucks on it, I use it, and I feel like I'm hooked, because that Starbucks coffee, I don't know if you guys know what Starbucks is, and but their coffee is amazing to me, and I get hooked on it. I like these things called sugar-free vanilla cafe latte and soy milk instead of regular milk, please. And that's probably my favorite coffee drink, but I don't drink coffee ever on my own. Oh, this is good. This leads into, this is perfect timing, you guys. And the reason I mentioned that, girl, is because it's neat to have encounters. I said it's neat to have encounters. I told you about the guy at the gas station, then the grocery store. We got to talk a little bit about it. She said the videos were very inspiring, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. That's where you got to pay attention to the way you talk and the way you walk sometimes, you guys. Especially if you're like me and you do YouTube, and then maybe I go out, you know, maybe I want to say some cuss words and act like the world and buy it, and maybe I was in line for a bunch of alcohol, you know, and she would have been like, oh, this guy's on YouTube and this is how he really is, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I'm not on YouTube. I think people on YouTube that watch me, they think I'm a preacher or a total that church-going guy, and I've gone to churches and stuff. Like I said, my favorite is the gym. That's real to me. That's where me and God, man. I'm worshiping God because I listen to a lot of worship music when I'm working out, and but I'm always constantly talking to God. Even in my mind, we're communicating. It's almost like seeing somebody talk to themselves, but it's me and God. But anyway, where was I? Sharing that story about the girl with you at the grocery store. Then it was going to lead to something else, and I just went kind of blank. So give me 1 second to recall my thoughts. Fasting. Okay, so I was talking about coffee, and I said I don't drink coffee anymore. I used to, but I'm not against it. I just don't drink it anymore because I go to bed and I wake up. I go to bed. I try to go to bed as early as I can. I wake up pretty early. I have a disciplined routine. I do food prepping, which takes me over an hour. I prepare 4 meals to bring to work with me because I try to eat frequently. You know, when you work out, you understand these things. And I've always, since I was young, I had this thing where my blood sugar drops and I start to get not feeling good, and it takes only 3 hours for this to happen, and then I start to feel like I want to rage for some reason, and I could probably easily snap on people if I'm not careful. But thankfully that hasn't happened for a while because now I'm used to fasting. Now there's some people that fast for religious reasons. The Lord called me to fast today, blah, 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 blah. And they do their fast and they get more in tune with Jesus, they say. And listen, I'm not going to mock them because I honestly don't do that. I'm not a religious faster at all. I'm like, fasting is something I'm never going to do because it'll just make me feel sick. And then you know, but religious people, well, you got to fight the flesh and all that stuff and deny the flesh, and it teaches you, okay, fine, but let me tell you what happens with me with fasting. So I do this thing now. I've been experimenting, and it works, you guys. I'm getting leaner. I wasn't fat or nothing to begin with. I've been in pretty good shape, you know, for most all my life. Maybe a couple times I'm like, where'd my abs go? You know, in my 30s that would happen to me, but I didn't know I had a problem with my thyroid. You know, when your thyroid's not working right, you can get body fat really easily, and my thyroid was super low. You know, I had this physical done, and they did blood work, and I was 39 years old, maybe 40. You know, it was 10, maybe around 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. But I'm like, no wonder I'm not burning off the stuff I'm eating, because I was eating super clean, because I'm like, man, everything seems to turn to body fat lately. You know, I prefer everything I eat to turn into muscle. Right? So anyway, darn it, where was I again? Tangents, I'm on tangents. So, okay, yeah. So lately I've been trying this thing where, you know, I don't eat until, you know, past a certain time at night, and then I wake up, I do my food prepping, which is very disciplined, and I know how to make lean food that tastes really good. And these protein pancakes I make are amazing. I'll just tell you real quick if you wanna make these for yourself. Here it goes. Don't argue about the ingredients with me. You shouldn't use that. Just, you know, this is what I do for me, and I feel pretty good on it. I do not drink protein shakes anymore because I hate them. The only time I drink a protein shake is I buy those little cartons of muscle milk because they're lactose free and they taste better than any of the, and they're easy to drink. They're tiny, and they're only like 20 or 25 grams of protein. A quick little protein boost. Another protein boost I like are these Greek yogurts from a company called Oikos, which is amazing because that Oikos, you know, that's a Greek word for body, right? Oikos, house. It's kind of more house, you know, your body is your house. So Oikos. You remember I talk about the word we're going to put on oikaterion someday? Beast house is how Oikos and terion would translate in Greek. Kind of weird, right? You mean we're going to become the beast? No, but we're going to enter like beast mode. We're going to be crazy. Going to be bulletproof and stuff. Right? You won't age. You'll be better than Superman. I'm not saying you're going to fly fast at the speed of light and all that ridiculous stuff, you know, but Superman would be jealous of you. Because you'll be made just like Jesus is now. You'll have that kind of body. It's amazing. But anyway, so Oikos Greek yogurt, there's this one that they have that has like 20 grams of protein in it, and it's a pretty solid yogurt. It's a vanilla flavor, which is pretty okay. I'll have that once in a while too. I like to have Greek yogurt almost daily. And they also make this other flavor that's less protein and a little higher in the carbohydrate, but not real high, but it's called a lemon meringue flavor. Oh my goodness. That's my favorite tasting one. But I try to eat the 20 gram protein one. Here's my protein pancakes. I don't need sunglasses anymore. I live right by the beach. And when you live by the beach, you have this marine layer. So many times it looks like if you ever come to San Diego, most people want to rent a hotel by the beach, or what are those homes that they call oh my goodness, I can't remember, a B and whatever. Anyway, you know, you rent a little home, and if you rent a home by the beach, and you'll think San Diego might have not too good. This is crappy weather. I thought this San Diego is supposed to be sunny all the time. Well, there's some areas by the beach that have this marine layer most all the time. Where I live, we get it all the time. I actually enjoy it because it's like God's free air conditioning for me, you know? It is. It's like having free air conditioning. It's amazing. So we are very spoiled with our weather in San Diego, but think twice before you move out to California, Southern California, or any part, because you know what? I'm telling you, man, the politics and all that stuff, it's cuckooville. It's so extreme liberal, but it's liberal. It's sad because liberal means freedom. Liberal's a freedom fighter. You're a freedom fighter if you're a liberal, you know, because it means liberation, which is freedom. It's come from liberation, and it's just like, no, you're not. You guys police people's words, and people aren't allowed to have any of their own opinion if they don't think exactly like you. You put stamps and labels on them, and it's so ridiculous, you guys. I am so against that stuff, you know, but I'm not somebody that's going to go out and holding signs up in the air and you know, vote for this guy or nothing. I'm not like that either, because politics is kind of like religion to me. I'm not saying I don't vote or anything like that, but I'm just saying I don't get mixed up in it. It's all crapville to me. Really, it's crapville. So the protein pancakes are made like this. Take any pancake mix, don't matter. Don't buy the special protein stuff. Oh, but they make a protein pancake. I don't like that. I make my own. So I use less than a half cup of protein. A tiny bit more than a quarter of or not protein, but of flour. The pancake flour, okay? The flour mix. I use just slightly over, maybe, okay, we'll call it, no, not quite 2/3 of a cup either. It's just a drop over a half cup. So approximately a quarter cup of flour mix, which is still low in carbs. And you put that in a big glass bowl. Doop. And then you take that same half cup, measuring cup, and it's a half cup measuring cup you want to use, and you pour in there liquid egg whites. And the liquid egg whites, you fill it up, and then you kind of let it overflow. You pour what I call what my roommate Kevin calls a scotch. Add a scotch to it, you know? So I pour a little extra. That goes into the bowl. I take 1 scoop of carnivore chocolate flavored protein powder that I buy off Amazon. It's in a big red jug. And the reason I use that stuff is because it doesn't have whey protein in it, which would give me gas because it's got lactose. And I also can't stand this protein powder that is made from peas. You know, those little green things? They're pea protein powder, and I hate it. So I use this stuff called Carnivore, and I digest it okay and stuff. So I put 1 scoop of that in there. So I've got liquid egg whites and a scoop of protein. Now I got some high protein in content. And then I put a tablespoon of wild organic frozen blueberries. And then I put a tablespoon of dark chocolate chips. Boop. And then I put as much cinnamon as I want, because I heard cinnamon's really good for men to eat. So I eat cinnamon twice a day, and I eat cayenne pepper twice a day, which is super good for you. Not kidding you guys. And so I take these, unless you're allergic or something, don't do it. And if you are allergic, in Jesus' name, I lift you up right now and command all allergies to flee from you. Get out of this person right now in Jesus' name. Food allergies, be healed, be set free, believe it, receive it now in Jesus' name. Amen. And I sound like a hypocrite because I just said I have this lactose allergy, but you know what? I find that sometimes there's things that I need healing for and I just can't receive it. Why can't I get it for myself? But I have so much faith when I pray for somebody else, and wham, I get reports of people getting deliverance all the time because I lifted them up in prayer from thousands of miles away even. And that's not bragging on me, it's just faith. Right? But getting it for yourself, that's another story sometimes, you know? And I think if you are involved in laying hands on the sick or praying for people, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Here I am home, and I gotta make this video short. So anyway, you take this thing. I think it's called a mixer. It says you put these 2 little metal things in this it's like a little handheld almost blender type thing. And you put these 2 little metal things that are the mixers. They spin when you hit this button. So you mix that stuff up with one of those, and it's super watery when you're done. But you have this non-stick frying pan, and I put this non-stick butter flavored spray in the pan instead of like oil or regular butter. But you know, whatever you do, you might like butter because you might say it's more organic or healthier. But this stuff, you know, I'm trying not to get the high calories from butter, even though I do love butter and I don't believe it's bad for you if you're careful about it. Don't eat too much of it. But anyway, so I cook them. Let them cook. You start to see them boil, just like you're doing pancakes. Then you flip them over. They're way thinner than a pancake, but these things are delicious. The girls at work wanted to try them the other day and gave them to them. They think it's amazing. So anyway, try them out if you want. Yeah, I should start a channel someday, an extra one, teaching people this stuff, you know, fit at 50 or whatever. Well, anyhow, the thing is, I fast though, you guys. Not in a religious way. I just go to the gym on an empty stomach. I do take liquid BCAA, branched chain amino acids. I have this thing that's a scooper. I go 1.5 scoops with it, drink that down, but it don't fill you up. It's not like eating food. And then I take L-arginine capsules. And L-arginine is an amino acid that helps you when you're lifting weights and doing exercise, man. You get pumped from it, you know? So I like that. So those are the 2 things I take. And then I also drink BCAA after I work out. For me, the results have been really awesome, and I've been doing it. And I'm telling you, when I'm fasting, you guys, when I am fasting, it's not religious, but there's something that's changed when I'm at the gym. There's something that I'm tuned in with God about. There's something that's flowing so much better when I'm working out even. It didn't happen overnight, but I've been noticing there's a change in the way I think when I'm working out. There's a change in the way that I'm putting myself into my muscles almost. Like I'm mentally entering my muscles and I'm seeing them. Even if like I was working my hamstrings out at the gym at my last workout, It was hamstring and calf day. I do quads and calves 3 days after that workout. But I like to split my legs up. I really love hitting my legs, man. I want my legs to match my upper body. I like muscle everywhere. I just love it. I don't do it for show. I just love to have muscle all over me. I love it. So anyway, so I'm super in tuned. And it's really interesting because me and God are talking, and even if I'm listening to music, he teaches me so many different things. Even if a song that's not a worship song comes onto my you know, I use this Pandora thing, and it has random songs that come on sometimes, but I pay attention to the talent behind the music, how trained these people are with their vocals, the amazing instrument that a voice is. And I used to never do this. I just used to listen to a song, oh, that's a neat song, but I never really paid attention. And even to the lyrics, you know, this guy Eminem, if you remember him, a rapper, that blonde rapper guy, his song came on. And it was this one called I think it's called Slim Shady. I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. So I'm listening. This song came on. I was about to press skip. And it's interesting because it's almost like God himself, you know, Jesus is working out with me. We're together working out. I still need to share. I'm so glad I said that because I need to share with you what Jesus told me. But he's teaching me, you know, he's not encouraging me. Listen to this music all the time. Not like that at all. But since it came on, I was about to change it. It's almost like, listen to him. This guy wrote this song and he's speaking emotions the way he was living back then. And you need to start listening to people. I'm not saying go playing satanic music and start listening to all that, you guys. And see, that's religion speaking to you when you think that way. But since it came on anyway, it's just like I'm not telling you, hey, let's say you're walking down the street and some naked lady comes walking out of her house and you see her, you know. I'm not saying, oh, well, hey, you know, you go see naked ladies all the time. But however you reacted and treated the situation, especially if you weren't like shocked or something and whistling at her, whatever it is, you know, maybe she walked, because there's people that sometimes they lose their minds and they walk out of their house and walk naked down the street. I've heard stories like that all the time. And maybe that person needs somebody like you to come and say, listen, man, do you need, and you might have to be mature about it, and that's spirit led, you see. But I'm not saying, oh, the spirit's going to lead you to naked people all the time. See what I'm saying? That's an extreme thing. But so I'm listening to these lyrics, and I just remember paying attention. I'm like, and then as I'm listening to what he's saying, you know, and then I'm thinking also about the talent of his instrument, his voice, how in tuned it is, and I'm like, and it's like Jesus is saying that's how you are with your muscles when you're working out. You're very, very in tuned. You have now mastered this, and I really feel like I am a master trained workout for the gym, right? Like I've mastered this thing and it's just going to keep on getting better. So as far as fasting goes, if you want to do it for religious reasons, or even if you call it spiritual or whatever, fine. I will never tell people you have to fast. You know, the Bible, fasting's in it, denies your flesh. Nah, I mean, if it helps you do that, cool. But will tell you, it does help me. You might think I'm not denying my flesh by working out, but actually, flesh is carnality, you guys. Working out's not carnality. It could be if it's done for certain reasons, I guess, but for me, it's spiritual, man. It's very spiritual and discipline. I love the discipline of it. And it ties so much into my spiritual life too. So anyhow, when I was at work today, I was thinking of something and I can't remember what led to that. But something got a little emotion stirred up in me. Oh yeah, I was thinking about my childhood. And it wasn't because I think about my childhood all the time. There was this boy whose hair I was cutting today, and he had longer hair. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, but I didn't have that long hair. I had short hair. And but he reminded me of me when I was younger for some reason. He kind of looked like me a little bit,
And he's in 8th grade. He's going into 8th grade. And I remember 8th grade was such a huge life change for me. 4th grade and 8th grade are the grades I remember the most. And 8th grade, so much had changed for me. Just things that happened that were quite amazing. But I had a terrible, terrible childhood, you guys. And if you saw pictures, this boy came in with his mom to get a haircut. Now, my mom didn't bring me into any salons to ever get haircuts. She cut my hair all my life. But I didn't have a close relationship with my mom at all. In fact, if you ever see pictures of me and my mom standing next to each other when I'm a kid, you can see it in my eyes. It looks like I hate this person so much. Not in an evil way, but because this person has treated me, has been the worst person in my entire life ever. This is the worst person ever, and this is my mother. And now I'm not speaking hate against my mom, because I have forgiven. You know, I forgive, and I've grown from the things I've went through in life. But it's really amazing to see the difference. He reminded me looks-wise, but the difference was him and his mom had a closeness, and it wasn't fake. You could see it. I could see it. There was a closeness, a mother that really loved her son, and he's the boy that's going to love his mom, and his mom's going to be everything to him. And he's the boy that's going to, I can't wait to call mom today and share with her the good news. And I never had that in my life, and I don't think I ever will, not because of unforgiveness. My mom's still alive, but we just never had that. We never had that, and it's hard to fake something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you inside you can't wait to tell mom about something. I have no clue how that feels, and that's not to hate on my mom at all. You know, I have a different kind of love for my mom, but it's not like what others have. Okay, so anyway, I go to the back of the salon. There's a little break room. I'm always working at work, you guys. I never sit down and take a time for myself unless I'm eating, but I even try to eat fast because there's always something to do cleaning up wise. I wash and fold towels all day. I work in a hair salon. I'm constantly sweeping, mopping floors. Everybody says, you do all of the work in the salon. Everybody says that. You do everybody's jobs. We all have cleanup jobs. You're always doing everybody's stuff. And I'm like, you know what, you guys, I'm just getting it done. That's all. I'm just getting it done, you know, because this place represents me too. So I just do it. If I see something needing to be done, maybe the rules are, oh, it's so-and-so's job to do that. But I don't think that way. I'm just like, I see it needs to be done. I'm going to do it. And today I stayed after work a whole hour just to be a gentleman to the ladies that work in there. Because there was trash to dump and all this, and I took care of all of it. The mopping, the trash, I cleaned the bathroom thoroughly. I sanitized everything. And it's not for a show, and it's not because I get paid more, because I don't get paid to do that. I'm only getting paid to cut hair. I make commission off haircuts, so all the cleaning stuff comes from me. And I wanted to help out and be a gentleman so that the girls, when they're done, they can just leave without having. I did all the towels for them when I left. Folded everything. So I go to the back room, and suddenly that boy comes to my mind, and it just hits me fast, you know. I was like, man, Lord, I just never had that before. And I wasn't welling up because I never had a mommy in my life. I was just thinking about how I never had that before, and how neat it was that to see a boy and his mom so close. And Jesus told me, yeah, we didn't really have that, did we? And I'm like, what? Now, remember, I was a little Jehovah's Witness boy. I shouldn't have had Jesus in my life ever. I was a Jehovah's Witness, you know? So my theology and doctrine was way off. But there was Jesus saying, yeah, we went through that together. What? Yeah, man. I've been there with you all your life. I've been through it all with you. Now, technically, you could say, but you weren't saved. How could Jesus be with you? You're one spirit when you're joined to the Lord. Yeah. Technicalities. Just like there's technicalities, there are people that technically are believers because they say, oh, I realize I'm a sinner. I need salvation by grace. So Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I believe. And technically, okay, you're saved. You believed. But then you've got somebody that believes. And it has nothing to do with that. Maybe a tiny bit, but it's different. It's so personal because he's real to you, because you're speaking to him all day, and it's not through ritualistic prayer. It's actually communication, thoughts, words. And it's not like, dear Jesus this, dear Jesus that. It's just that I'm communicating with my spirit in me, which is his spirit. So my spirit is communicating to my mind all the day, every day. And my mind communicates to my spirit all day, every day. And my spirit is the spirit of the Lord. 1 Corinthians 6:17, look it up. But Jesus, maybe because once his spirit is in me, you know, everything about me, it's as if he was always there. I don't know how to explain it other than this, other than Jesus said, yeah, we went through that together. And I'm like, thinking about, you were with me? And he says, we didn't have the mother, and we didn't have the earth father, but guess what? You and I both have the same father. And I'm thinking, that's what? We have the same daddy, Mike. And our daddy is God. Now, is Jesus saying he's not God? No, he's the DNA of his daddy. His DNA is God. He is of his father. But he shared with me that we got the same God, and that God is our Father. And it has nothing to do with separation of Trinity doctrine or any doctrinal stuff, you know? And it was just super powerful and profound to hear Jesus say that to me, and my eyes welled up. I'm like, we got the same dad. And he just showed me, let's trust dad through everything, because dad's been through it all. And I've been doing a bunch of bad stuff for many years throughout my life. Bunch of bad stuff that I wish I didn't do. But dad was there. And dad trained me from it. And it's not an encouragement to do that stuff. But whatever it was, dad was there. Dad never abandoned me. But dad always trained me through it. It was powerful, you guys. And so this whole thing, going back to fasting, you know, you might not have expected to hear a video like this, because I'm just telling stories and talking. But I don't want to do the religious sermons anyway. Maybe some of my videos sound like that and all that. And I don't want to be a know-it-all preachy guy. I'm not a pastor. I'm not no titles or anything like that. I'm just a dude with Christ in me. And as rotten as I might think sometimes, or speak sometimes, or walk sometimes, or whatever, he's still in me. And I'm an awesome testimony for him. And the reason is because my testimony says no matter what, my Father never leaves me. And even when I technically wasn't saved, there he still was anyway. And I can't even explain that. But maybe if you think differently than the religious voices, and then all the well, what about this verse and that verse and that verse? Forget your verses. You might be interpreting that thing so wrong you don't even know. But he's been my reality, and if you know what I'm talking about, he's yours too. And you know it's way, way beyond religious, ritualistic stuff. Sorry if I'm saying fasting is... You might go to a church that believes in fasting. I'm not unbelieving fasting, and I'm not believing. I'm just saying it works, and I do it every day. So the people that say they fast once a week or boast about, yeah, I fasted, and you hear them talking, well, guess what? This dude does it every day. It might not be 24 hours, but I fast at least 15 hours every single day. So I beat your fasting for a week. 15 times 7. What do you think about that? Right? Anyway, I hope this message has blessed somebody out there. I love talking to you guys. I love sharing things because it helps me to recall things that the Lord shared with me. So maybe I'm just teaching myself. Who knows? Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. Probably made a way too long of a video for you to watch. But anyway, find some time if you get to. And I'll see you all in the next video.